Hello one, Equipment Warrior, and welcome to my build guide for my Wield Duelist. This character has been much more powerful since the last update. I have more life than I had before. I have more damage than I had before, and I have more armor than I had before, because armor get buffed as well. So let's go right into the skill tree. Starting as a Duelist, went out in this path here, grabbed Bravery, Art of a Gladiator, the Vicious, Golem's Blood, Cloak and Chain, Amber Dexterity, and Blade Barrier. Blade Barrier is mostly for defensive. You get a good amount of block chance with it, so we'll block attack a little bit more, and that will actually increase your survivability. And also grab Iron Reflexes. I went up here. Here you have a choice. You can go up here if you want to have some extra life, or you can go down here. It doesn't matter what route you take, but you can take both of them. I'm gonna start by up here. I'm gonna start by showing up here what I take. I took Berserking and Sentinel, and this life here. If you're not gonna take this whole life, you will here. I'm gonna take this last one here. If you're gonna level up a bit more, and if you go up here, just take this one and then wait to take the other ones, because this is a really powerful life note. You can also take Path of the Warrior, which I might do later. This game here is a very late game for me, but if you find a good game, please just place it in some of the sockets here. I don't have taken any of the sockets yet, because the other sockets here, because I don't have seen all of the gems in the game, so I don't know how good they are and everything of that. So I'm gonna wait by taking this one till I find any of the other gems and see what I can do. And I'm going to update the skill tree if I find any. I went down here to get this one here. This is a very good mana leech notes, and you want mana leech notes because you're probably going to do this build as a blood medic build. You're going to use the blood medic gem. You can use blood medics, but if you're taking this one, you can't use any auras. Yes, note. But if you're taking blood medic here, you have access to the most powerful life notes in the entire game. Just so you know that. And then I went up to the Marauder here. By the way, this one is optional. I'm using Bringer of Rain, which have a chance to blind enemies. That's the reason I don't using Our Withstand, because if you're blinding enemies, they will hit you if you're using this one, because you can't evade attacks. So using this one, I recommend taking this one if you're not going to use Bringer of Rain, or if you, sorry about that, my computer is a little bit weird. Taking this one if you're using Bringer of Rain, or if you're using Bringer of Rain and don't care about the blind effect, you can take this one in as well, because it's a really good note. But you can't evade when you're taking it. I have taken a Resolute Technique here. I always take Resolute Technique on this build. This is another crit build, and I want to hit 100% of the time, so I took Resolute Technique. And by the way, I have taken Lust for Carnage, another life leech note. So I have two life leech notes. I have this one and this one, and that gives you a huge amount of life when you're hitting enemies. So it's very powerful. And by the way, this one actually gives you increased damage when you are leeching. So when you're hitting enemies and leech life from them, you will actually gain more damage just by leeching. I have taken Blade Master and Cleaving. And this is because you see this build using both a sword and an axe, so it benefits from both axe notes and sword notes. If you wanna go pure axe, you just don't take these notes here, and instead take Slaughter and these notes here. If you're gonna do pure sword, you don't take these notes here, you take these notes here instead. But if you're going pure sword, you will do a little bit less damage than axes do. Also taking by the blade, because this increased damage with both swords and axe, so it's a very powerful note for this build, and also increases your evasion rating, so it's a very good note actually. It actually increases your life, sorry, your protection. I have taken Armor Mastery, I almost forgot I have taken Judgment and Barbarism. Always take Barbarism if you are close to it. It increases your maximum fire resist, which are really nice. It also gives you a life and fire resist, because this build can be really pretty hard to get your maxed out resistance on. Almost forget I took a Sentinel as well. I have Born to Fight, Heart of a Warrior, Warrior's Blood. Again, really powerful notes. And that's pretty much my skill tree. I took in Strong Aim, but you can actually drop these trees here and get more life maybe, and more survivability. If you have problem with your survivability, drop this tree. Don't take these 3 notes here and get more survivability. You have some life here and there in the skill tree, but I've pretty much taken all the life in the tree. And by the way, one optional thing you actually can take if you're not taking Strong Aim, and if you want to use the Fortify gem, I go over that in just a second. You can take melee damage when Fortify. You can take these notes, so that is actually optional, just so you know that. By the way, let's go over to our gear. I almost forgot, as I said before, this is our Euro sockets I have right now. You have 2 more Euro sockets you can take. Actually, you have 3 more. You have this one as well. So if you find any good good Euros, I don't have any good. I just have this one. So that's the reason I don't have taken any one of this. But if I find any really good and powerful Jewel, I'm going to update this build with the new Euros. And you can experiment yourself by placing Euros in this one. This one is most easier one to get, because you're gonna go up here and just need to take 1 point to get it. Just to take, you can just take it, by the way. Let's go over gear. Oops, sorry. I'm using this sword here. It's a very powerful sword. And if you're wondering why it looks like this, it's actually our skin. I have made that mistake before when I have 2. Looks like I had 2 swords when I skinned my axe as well. Looks like this, and people just asking me why I have axe notes in 3. So I really apologize for not being clear enough. I'm sorry for that. But this is a powerful sword. You want attack speed and physical damage. That's the only thing you need on your weapon. As much attack speed and physical damage as you can get. Because this is a very fast build, so it actually really benefits from having fast weapons. That's all, and that's the reason all my weapons for this build is fast weapons. This is the reason I don't need mana in the skill tree, and I don't need blood medic. It's because I'm using soul taker. But this one is pretty expensive, so most of you guys which are not rich in the game, I think this go for about, when I last checked, it was like 10 exalted orbs, which are pretty expensive if you ask me. So it was hard for me to get this one, but I have one. And it's a very powerful axe and have good physical damage and good attack speed. It's not doing as much damage as this one do, but I'm using it primarily for the insignificant mana doesn't prevent your melee attack. You can attack without mana. And also it comes with some little bit of cold resist, which are nice. And my other important thing of gear, it is Bring of Rain. I always using Bring of Rain for this build. It's it's in my opinion the best helmet you can get. It's not that expensive anymore, but it will cost some. I think it won 1 or 2 exalted orbs. But this one is going to be much more expensive because this is a legacy version of Bring of Rain. Then the new Bring of Rain is not this powerful anymore because it has been nerfed. So this is a much more powerful Bring of Rain than the current one you can find in the game. And this armor here is nothing special. It just has 6 socket armor I used to level up gems. So I just have some gems here I want to level up. I'm using Astromentes because this build can have a problem with dexterity. If you're using a sword, you need a lot of dexterity, but this build just doesn't get a lot of dexterity. So using something like this, but you don't need Astromentes. Just get an amulet with a good amount of dexterity, and even some intelligence would be nice. And it would be good enough to use. But I have the Astromentes, so I'm gonna use that, but it is not the best choice you can have. As you can see, I have only 100. If I put it away, I'm missing that much dexterity and that much intelligence. So you need to have that on your other gear. But it is manageable. Oops, sorry. I'm using this ring here. It's nothing special, just a a decent ring, giving me some resistance, some life, and all of that. But it's not the best ring. And there do exist much better rings, and as you can see, this ring could have both intelligence and dexterity on it, so you can get it on the ring. And life is also important to get in your gear. This ring here, again, is not that powerful, but actually give me some intelligence, which are much needed. And give me a good amount of life and some resistance, which are nice. That's the problem with Astromantis. It doesn't give you any resistance, but it do give you life, because you get a huge amount of strength on it. I'm using these boots here. It's not the best boots at all. It have very high armor. It have a good amount of life and good amount of lightning resist, but that's pretty much all. It's not particularly powerful boots, so they do exist much better than this one. Using these gloves here, which are actually pretty nice. I have a crafted life leech mod on them, which were more powerful before, but it's something. You know, it gave me a huge amount of life, it gave me a good amount of cold resist, and a very good amount of lightning resist. And I'm using this belt here, which are the most damaging belt you can have on this on a build like this. Give you a flat physical damage, which make it much really powerful. It give you life, because it give you 10% increase maximum life, and it give you a good amount of strength as well, which also increases your life. And it increase flask life recovery rate, so your flask will be more powerful with this one. And by the way, I almost forgot, I'm using my flask I'm using a Series Promise, which are from a series. This is not an expensive flask at all, you can buy pretty easy, but they have really high level. Using some internal flask, this one removes bleeding on use, and this one increases my armor when I'm using it. Again, play around with what flask you think suits you best. You don't need to have this one, you can have another life flask here. And I have some of these flasks here. Some resistance flask, but you can swap this out for an armor flask or an evasion flask, or maybe more life flasks. It just depends on what you think are best. And now I'm gonna go for my gem setups. I'm primarily using 3 setups. I'm gonna start with my damage setup. This build I am using Dual Strike, which is my main skill, but I actually tried this build with other skills. Some of the new skills work really well. You can use Ice Crash on this build. It will work just as well. I'm gonna demonstrate my skills later. But Dual Strike is the most powerful one. As you can see, my DPS is really high with it. Almost 45k damage. And it's supported by added fire damage, melee splash to hit more enemies, and multi strike. But it also is supported by melee physical damage, faster attacks, and level 18 blind because of my Bring of Rain. So it's actually a 7 link, which makes it much more powerful. And also, by the way, Bring of Rain give you a flat physical damage increase, so that's the reason my damage is this high. If you not have a Bring of Rain, you wanna use your own setup, I'm recommending using Dual Strike with melee splash, multi strike, and faster attacks, and melee physical damage. And that's pretty much it. But if you're gonna use what was the name for that now? Oh, I'm sorry. Blood Medic. I'm recommending not using faster attacks. Instead of using fast attacks, you're gonna use Blood Medic instead if you are a Blood Medic build. So instead of fast attacks, use Blood Medic. And my aura setup, I'm using Hatred with my Hair of Ash. And by the way, because reducing mana do not reduce the mana cost anymore, but the auras itself are more cheap now than it was before, so you can actually use 2 of the highest mana serving aura at the same time, but you're going to have no mana left if you're doing that. Then you must use Blood Medic. Sorry. And I also actually had one supported by Enlightenment. Enlightenment actually now gains, actually reduces the mana reserve, but it does so in a very slightly way, so it's not, you don't have to have it. And by the way, actually using Arctic Armor now. I'm not leveling up that high, but I had some mana over, so I decided why not using Ortigamo to get more survivability. So it's something to have. And I have a cost on damage taken out with a cost on damage taken with Endurance Cry, which do not work anymore. Yes, everyone know that. I just forgot I have it in there. And I forget. I actually realized I forgot my cost on damage taken setup. But I'm gonna use cost on damage taken with Warlord's Mark and what was the name for that skill now? Alright, but I'm gonna use it with Warlord's Mark. Yes, I remember that. And I also have a Whirling Blade setup, which are my main way I move forward. As you can see, I'm really fast with Whirling Blade. And this is really helpful when you're fighting a boss. If you see him going to do attack, you just do like that and then attack him in the back. And when you're just doing like this all day. And my setup for Whirling Blades are Whirling Blades with faster attacks. Because that shortens the animation and you will move faster. I'm also using Leap Slam to get over enemies or up on ledges or all of that. It's a really good way to travel around. So that's the reason I can travel as fast as I do. But I'm gonna do a demonstration with a few skills, like Ice Crash. I'm gonna do a demonstration. So let's see on the demonstration how this works. So let's try out our skills on this level 71 strand map. This is when I'm using my setup for my Dual Strike, which are most powerful skills I'm using. And as you can see, it just wreck everything in just 1 second. And I can take a lot of damage with this one. But let's try one of the new skills. I'm gonna try Frostbite. Because I'm gonna use Frostbite, I don't need Melee Splash anymore. So I'm gonna read that. I'm actually gonna use Fortify instead. As you can see, the Frostblades do not have the same amount of high damage, but you're hitting a lot of enemies. As you can see here. And by the way, I'm actually planning on doing a build on this one, specific build for just this skill here. But as you can see, it's worked really well. And I'm probably going to do a separate video on other skill gems I can use with this build, because you can do use a lot of skill gems from this build. But I'm going to do a separate video on that. As you can see, Frost Blades working really well. It just wrecks everything. And again, if you have any question about the build, please ask me in the comments, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. And also, my last skill I'm going to show, it is Ice Crash. Another thing with Ice Crash do not work with multi-strike. So, let's see what the damage are on it. As you can see, it's a very powerful skill. Also planning doing a Ice Crash build, as I said before when I did my other videos. So you will see Ice Crash build pretty soon, I think. And you need to be careful when enemies throwing the torches at you, because torches for some reason do a ton of damage, even when maxed out cold resist. As you can see, this build works really well with Ice Crash as well, even if I don't have an optimized setup. And that's pretty much it. If you have any question about this build, please ask me in the comments, as I said so many times before, because I want to help out people making a fun build. But anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.